Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance. This is the WWPCT, the Worldwide People's Championship title. We are in week 2, and so we are going to see, this is a round 1 game between the Terminator and Iridium Blows on Finn's Revenge, and we have a cyber on cyber, so this is going to be fun. I'm already enjoying this. So, this is the first pairing that was chosen randomly, and I might make it +1. Finn's is a nice map, even if I always lose on it. So we can see Iridium going 2 power, 2 mechs after his land, and Terminator going 2 mechs, but a whole bunch of power, and he's not doing it very efficiently. Should put the move order right here, I think. It would probably be better. Other than that, looks like his build is pretty good. He's going after the Hydro pretty quick. Looks like Iridium knows about the rock, so good stuff. Just wanted to get that out there, and Hunter is making its way around the edge. That's why some players like Voodoo say you shouldn't even go for the Hydro on Finns, because people just put all their efforts into killing it for some reason. They just don't like it. They're mean to the Hydros. So now I'm in a good mood because I see a cyber on cyber. It's something you never see these days. It's kind of sad. It used to be common on GPGnet. So this is a great tournament that's been run by TA for Life in week 1, and I thought I'd help him out. So I helped choose the maps for week 3. Well, actually, no, not week 3, for the final. And the way this is going to work, this is a tournament. This is the first round. There's 2 rounds, and the winner gets to play Shoot, who won the tournament in week 1, and they will be the first champion. So this is kind of nice. So whoever wins this match gets to move to the playoff round, and they will be in the final, which will be a best of 3. You can see this Hunter's doing very well. It's got 2 kills before it's finally destroyed by a Mantis, so good early rating, but Terminator might get some payback if he can destroy this mechs, which could be nice. This is actually going to be very close. I have no idea what's about to happen. Will the Mantis kill it in time? Oh, it changed focus. That was a mistake from Terminator. He should have just kept focusing on the mechs. He could have probably killed it, and he would have gotten some payback for losing his NG. Probably some more significant payback too, losing mass per second. So we can see some land going up for Iridium. No air whatsoever from him. No air from Terminator as well. Or no air from Terminator either. I'm going to say this in proper English. Yeah. God. Okay. So this is kind of weird. Both ACUs going to the same side, so there's not going to be any easy raiding, because something that you'll sometimes see on Finns is people just go around in a circle and they'll just take each other's bases, but that is not going to be possible in this one unless the ACUs have a mutual treaty and they just walk past each other, which is a possibility, I guess. But Terminator could be making a mistake here, walking into he's just walking into a point defense, while Iridium is making progress on the other end. Terminator needs to pay attention and change. He has done so. He's lost about 1,000 health here. Iridium is going to give chase. He's making significant progress on the bottom. Terminator doesn't have that many land factors, and he's got a huge deficiency of units. There is a huge difference in the amount of units that Iridium has compared to Terminator. I don't know why it's so cold in here. Holy crap, I have to... I'm sorry about that, I was freezing. I had to turn the heat up. Kind of a fail. So we see Iridium still giving chase to Terminator. This is kind of funny actually, because they're never going to catch you. Iridium's never going to catch him because they're walking at the same rate, because it's the same faction, same ACU, so nothing's ever going to happen there. Iridium is going to be destroying a mass extractor though. He's going to definitely allow Terminator to escape now. And we can almost say the game is already over. So we see a massive map control advantage for Iridium and many more units. Terminator is still holding strong on this side, but eventually the extra mass from the map control is just going to take a toll. And there's how many is this? Is 5 NGs making factories for Iridium, so that's why he was able to get his factories up so quickly. I played Iridium in ranked and he beat me. It was a Cyber on Cyber, by the way. So Iridium is a good player. You can see he definitely knows that he needs map control and units. And the Terminator doesn't have many options left. He should probably, to me, the only way he can get out of this is to go Tech 2 right now, to just abandon Tech 1 and go for Tech 2. Try to take some of the map back, because he's not going to outspam Terminator now, not with the amount of units that Terminator has. And this is probably the mistake right here. This is the mistake. Going with a Tech 2 mass extractor. That is a very bad idea, because Tech 2 mass extractors are not efficient, and it just lets your opponent get this many more units than you. You can see Iridium has no Tech 2 mass extractors, but he's got many more Tech 1s because of the map control, and that's better because he can defend much more easily just by... Oh, this is kind of funny. Terminator names his ACU-4 Sparta. He's just going to be leading the charge. And this could be interesting. If he gets a draw here, they would be forced to rematch, and I'm sure he wouldn't make the same mistakes. But he didn't give enough chase, and I'm pretty sure Iridium would have made it into the pawn anyway. You see some emergency point defense going up here. They're just going to try to hold the line as long as they can. But Iridium is just going to need to switch it to artillery, which he has done. And then it's just going to be a matter of time before he overruns Terminator's base. So that was a very quick game 1 of round 2. Or week 2, I guess. This was round 1. So I'll just go ahead and cast the other 2 as well then. So I was going to say, if this was a longer game, I might have to make separate videos, but I think as it is, I can just make a single video, and that'll be better for your viewing pleasure. Now there's going to be the standard discussion. Iridium was on an attack move with the ACU. People usually don't do that. Maybe that was a misclick. So at this point, Terminator is getting some kind of upgrade, probably the gun. He's just going to try to make a last stand, but once he loses his power, he's still got the Hydra, so he's got some power, but no mass. So that's not going to work out too well for him. Once he loses all this power, though, he's going to die. It's the Hydro's not enough to run an upgrade like that. Could probably just reclaim with this and get a little bit of extra mass for his upgrade. Now he's lost the Tech 2 mass extractor. He's going to lose everything. So Terminator is surrounded. He's in his little shelter here. And I'm pretty much just waiting for the GG to be called. I think Iridium might have taken this game more seriously than Terminator did, because I think I saw Iridium training in FAF the other day, a few days ago. I don't know if he was training on this map, but I think he was training for this round, so he's definitely in this to win. So nice to see him taking the competition seriously, because he has it in his sights to become the champion or to become the first ever champion of the Worldwide People's Championship title. And we'll see that once we'll see if he can win round 2. If he can win round 2, which is going to be between him and whoever wins game 2, which is going to be on this map as well. So this is going to be the end of Terminator. He's going to get killed by little insects, the Mantis. And 11-minute game 1, so Iridium moves on into round 2. Terminator is out. And so we're going to take a look at the next game right now. And here we go. We got game 2 of round 1 of the Worldwide People's Championship title, week 2. And these two players, SSSS and the Tempest, are playing to decide who will face Iridium Blows in the final, who has already advanced, having beaten the Terminator in very convincing fashion. He played extremely well, actually. So here we have another mirror matchup. In fact, the first one was Cyber on Cyber, and this one is UEF on UEF. So we have and he's taking on the Tempest. This is like mirror matchup theme day or something. It would be funny if the final was the mirror matchup as well. I actually have no idea. So the Tempest, who actually participated in week 1, so thanks to him, he helped get this whole thing going, is he's going with 2 power and 2 mechs. SSSS is making a lot more power. We'll see how these 2 players do. Not much to say early on, except that I see a lot more Mecha Marines from the Tempest than and SSSS is going to be making a factory with his ECU, so he's going second land. That's a big difference because the Tempest is moving down to the bottom, and Mech Marines, I expect numbers to get the victory for Tempest because it is Mech Marine on Mech Marine. SSSS is going to run as fast as he can. He's going to try to get out of there. He needs to bring in reinforcements. His reinforcements are going in the wrong direction, so not very good reinforcements. Now at this point, if SSSS, to his credit, in his defense, he has no intel because there's no scout. He could have swung around and gone back, but that's probably just a dream. This Mecha Marine, so good pickup from SSSS. He's going to bring it back. He doesn't want it to run to the ACU. That would be a terrible tragedy. And we see tanks coming out, so slight overreaction, I think, because at this point, SSSS definitely has the units to deal with this threat, but now he's overproducing. He's making tanks when his real problem is NGs. He's going to be doing a factory attack move, so he knows what he's doing. But the Tempest is ahead of him in spam. Actually, no. What am I saying? SSSS already has 2 factories. Now we see Strikers versus Mech Marines. The Mech Marines lose 1, but take down the tank. Here's the Mech Marine with a kill. And SSSS might... Now he's going to be able to clean these up with his ACU, so that one gets away. If it comes too close, though, it's going to get one-shotted. So some fairly tense early action here. Tempest and the SSSS. Once again, unstandard play, because last time it was the top player that did the non-standard thing, and now it's the Tempest doing the non-standard thing. Usually it's like this and like this. Wait. Then I guess I'm wrong. Ignore me, I'm a noob at this game, so I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm talking about. So the Tempest is making a point defense. I think SSS realizes that he's not going to be able to stop it from being produced, so he's probably going to have to get out of there. Point defense is going to be difficult for him to deal with. So he sees it and moves away. It's not pleasant for him to deal with. So we see map control in the Tempest's favor. We saw just how effective map control is on this map just in the last game with Iridium Blows. He just dominated Terminator just by getting some extra map control early on, and then that just snowballed into more units, and then that meant more map control, so more units, and then just went up from there. And we see Bomber from the Tempest. This is already a difference between the previous game. There was no air in that game. And this is very scary for SSSS. If there's a bomb right there, looks like it wasn't where I thought it would be, but still 3 NGs killed, very painful. These NGs need to split up. I mean, they need to split up right now, or else they're just going to get bombed. Here comes the bomb. That's what I'm talking about. 4 NGs killed with 1 having 2 health left. Unfortunate to not get 7 kills, but still a devastating bomber. And more bombers coming in from the Tempest. 2 more NGs have been killed, and this bomber actually survives 2 more NGs. Now that one lives, but it will get destroyed by a second bomber. So, like, SSSS has something like 3 NGs on the entire map. That's not good. That's actually really bad for him. Looks like that bomb landed nowhere. Actually, both bombs hit the ground in front of this NG, so this NG should be thanking God and holding its breath. So SSSS has teched up a mass extractor, just like the Terminator did in the previous game. And just like we saw in the previous game, the Tempest, the bottom player who did not tech a mass extractor, has significantly more units. And much more build capacity due to the fact that he killed so many NGs. So SSSS has to find a way to make up for this. He is trying to pump NGs out from his factory, so he knows the principle of build capacity, so that's good. But the Tempest is getting the gun, and if he gets the gun finished, that's going to be very bad for the purple UEF player. See a 5th spam factory going up for the Tempest. So not as much spam as Iridium Blows brought up in the last game, but still significant. SSSS is going to be adding on another factory. He's got 4 spam factories, so not too far behind in that regard, but I expect his economy to be suffering in comparison. He has about plus 15-ish. Tempest is sitting on about plus 23, but no power, so probably would have more if he could solve his power problems. He is trying to do that right now, so good stuff. But SSSS is kind of hemmed in here, and he's being raided on the sides that he can't cover. So this isn't looking too good for our purple friend. And once Tempest gets the gun, he's going to be in a position to force SSS into the water. And if he does that, then he'll be able to run over the base. But I can't make a prediction like that. It's still a significant force for SSSS, plenty of units. Just working on spamming units out of this one factory. I would prefer him to just add another factory on, but that's up to him. Now we see a scouting run coming in from the Tempest. Sees what SSSS has. Sees the upgrade going down. So he's going to know that he has a huge advantage right now. This is a massive advantage, the gun right here. Physically and mentally. You get the physical advantages, but also the psychological advantages that, oh, look at me, I'm killing all his army, and he can't do anything about it. And believe it or not, psychology is actually a huge factor in this game. Because, well, actually, I won't go into that. That's stupid. Now we see some overcharges going down. He needs to kill these engineers. He does not want SSS to catch up and upgrades, so he does take out the NGs. He doesn't just want to stand there, though. He wants to be able to move his ACU, but SSSS has lost a lot of health. He probably wants to cancel the upgrade at this point. Needs to cancel that upgrade. He absolutely needs to cancel it. He's going to lose a lot of health. He's getting hit by RD. And the Tempest ACU, despite the Tempest losing all his army, I'm pretty sure that his ACU can deal with whatever Tech 1 garbage is coming up against him, and his force is going to hit SSSS from the back. So great stuff from the Tempest, playing as if he was Cybern. And I'm not joking either. You can see he's two-shotting the striker, so that's very valuable. He just got a veterancy level, and now there's pretty much nothing to stop his force. The ACU can swat these units, but not fast enough. See, it takes 3 shots to kill the striker, and the strikers, in the meantime, are destroying his base. Tempest, in the meantime, is in no real danger. I mean, he's lost quite a bit of health, so he needs to be careful. But SSS is going to go down before he does, and he's not in any danger at this point. So the Tempest takes the game from SSSS. A much more even game and a good finish to this one. So we are going to see the Tempest versus Iridium Blows, and that is going to be on Eye of the Storm, and whoever wins that is going to be able to play in the playoffs. So I enjoyed this, and I'm going to see you in the next game. Okay, now on to the last game of week 2. And it is Iridium Blows versus the Tempest on Eye of the Storm, Cybern on UEF. So it looks like Iridium Blows is campaigning to have a Cybern winner to this round, which is nice. I like his thinking. Tempest sticking with his favorite UEF, so not going to be doing anything crazy there. These factions are probably the least logical factions for the map, but it's nice to see players having fun anyway. Usually on Eye of the Storm, you'll see at least one Aeon or Seraphim, if not both are Aeon or Seraphim. We can't tell what Iridium Blows is going to make next because he's rushing the Hydro pretty hard. The Tempest is not making a second factory. He's just going to be running very hard to the expansion. He's going to skip all the Master Strikers. His goal is just to reach here as soon as humanly possible. After one more power, he's going to be running over there. His second factory is going to be air. And I would expect something similar from Iridium Blows. Obviously, this map is literally all about air control. If you don't have air control, you don't win. Even if you have Navy, because it's small, so air can counter Navy decently well. So if you don't have air, then you're in trouble. You can see second air coming out from Iridium blows as well. And it'll be interesting to see what units come out, because as Cybern, he has multiple options. You could go with the standard interceptor, or you could go with bomber, or maybe even jester. And he has set the rally point directly for the Tempest base, so I'm expecting some early aggression, which is going to be nice. And we'll see if I'm right. It's just a scout. Well, we'll see what happens with that. See some more land factories going down for Iridium blows. Just made the one scout. He's going to be looking to see what the Tempest is doing. And we'll see what unit the Tempest chooses to open with. He's going first interceptor, so he's expecting some aggression. Iridium blows also going first interceptor, and he's going to be spamming out of this factory. And everything is being funneled here because he's going to send his ACU to the top, I would imagine. Although the Tempest has a massive advantage on him. He's already almost to the halfway point. So that's the advantage of sending your ACU out early, even if you don't have as much early build capacity at your base. See some factory attack moves, so good stuff to pick up all the resources. Of course, I don't know if he's picked it up yet, but there's a little chunk of mass on this map that you always need to get. It's very critical. It's so small that I'm having trouble finding it, but in-game you can find it fairly easily. We see more interceptors coming out from Iridium and more interceptors from the Tempest, so no early aggression. That makes me sad. Whatever. So now we see 2 air factories from the Tempest, which is an interesting choice. So that's going to take quite a bit of power. Looks like power is something he's not lacking. And the Tempest is making a move for the middle. We'll see if Iridium responds to that in any way. See, the Tempest is almost to the expansion, and Iridium is nowhere near it. So, huge advantage for the Tempest, and we'll see if he can make that count. I expect him to. Tempest is about to make landfall in the middle, although Iridium has complete coverage of this. He's going to know, and he's probably going to be sending some kind of air unit over there to deal with it. See some spam factories up for Iridium blows, as well as an engineer factory. This is the first factory. Now a bomber coming out, it's going to try to avoid the interceptors. That'll be nice. You see, maybe this air factory was a misclick. I don't know. If it is, that's pretty significant. See, land factories being set up, although Iridium blows has a massive advantage in terms of the land that has been piled up, and he is going to try to kill this NG with a bomber. However, Tempest did see that. He's going to try to kill it. So this is going to be very important. And he wasn't in time. He's gonna keep these 2 mexes for quite a bit, because I don't see any way that Iridium is going to deal with them. But he's not going to be able to reclaim the rest of the rocks or get a factory established. So he had intel, but he didn't react. Admittedly, his attention was probably elsewhere. But Tempest has got a land factory set up. If he gets some point defense, he's going to be able to completely throw Iridium away, because Iridium has no supporting army. Now Tempest is going to realize what's happening. There's an ACU about to ruin his party. He thought he was just going to get this expansion. So he does the right thing. He's going to be blocking Iridium's ACU with his stronger ACU, because Iridium has the paper Cybern ACU. And he's going to be making a point defense with the engineers. Tempest is retreating hard. Why is he retreating? Iridium has no units at all. I mean, seriously. So he loses the chance to make his point defense. And Iridium is making some progress here, actually. The units are very compact and they're easy to hit with the Mantis. You need to get a little bit of spread on the units. But Iridium, simply because he has a paper ACU, might be in some trouble here. Might need to just retreat. He's got significantly less health. And now we see some Navy from the Tempest, so this is going to be an advantage. He will be able to prevent Iridium from making Navy, assuming he moves the sub in. And then he could maybe go Tech 2, make some frigates, or make cruisers, whatever, I don't know. Oh, this is excellent. We saw the Tempest really like his bombers against, who did he play last round? He played SSSS, and he devastated him early on with the bombers, and that's really what allowed him to get the victory. If he bombs here, that would be devastating. Not sure why these NGs are all here. They're just kind of sitting there. This is bad. The Tempest could have prevented Iridium from creating Navy, but instead Iridium is able to establish it. If he makes a sub, he'll be able to kill this sub. Although UAF subs will kill Cybern subs one-on-one. So Tempest does a good job, prevents the point defense from being built, and he's making a point defense of his own, this time taking care to spread the NGs, so he's not going to be invaded anytime soon. Iridium probably realizes that he's going to have to retreat. So now the subs are finally moving in, and Iridium is going straight for Tech 2. He figures he doesn't even want to waste any time with his Tech 1 junk. Now he's going to try to spam up a Tech 1 torpedo launcher, and he's going to get that up. There's no way to prevent it. Especially with Iridium, with Tempest focusing on the naval factory for whatever reason. Now these are just cannon fodder to the torpedo launcher. You can see how fast they're going to go down. It's going to run for its life. I doubt it's going to get away, though. It doesn't. The torpedoes chase it down. Now quite a significant air force going on over the airfight going over the middle island. And we see that Tempest was actually microing, and he gets the victory, even though it looked like he might have had less numbers. Here's going to be something very important, though. Huge amounts of spam for both players. And this is going to come down to positioning, because the way your army is shaped is very important in a choke point like this when there's so many numbers. And changing the direction is also very important. So it looks like there isn't really going to be a clear winner right now. Just too many units for both players to have a winner. Point defense is also going to make a huge difference here. It's doing its job defending a point. Point defense, ha ha ha. Tempest has gone Tech 2 with his ACU, making some triads. Iridium is in big trouble here on the top. This has the potential for a point defense creep, and now he's gonna make tactical missile defense, and that will serve the great purpose of combating the invisible tactical missiles of Iridium blows, because it's always a great idea. You need to be prepared against invisible attack missiles. Admittedly, it's a good call. I mean, TMD is never a bad thing to have, but if he, has he scouted? I just saw a destroyer, by the way. So yeah, he doesn't know, but a simple scout would be better than investing in TMD. So we see a destroyer. We see Tech 2 Navy from both players. A destroyer from Iridium, and a torpedo boat from Tempest. Cooper is the name of the unit. And this destroyer is only 22%. So if he can fool, his only option here is to try to trick Iridium into thinking that this is a destroyer. That's not gonna work if he was paying attention when he scouted. This is just gonna be a massacre. I don't think the torpedo boat has any chance at all. It's just gonna try to run away. One advantage it does have is that it's easy to dodge pretty much anything with the torpedo boat because it's very fast and agile, but he's not doing that properly. Destroyer barely takes any hits. I mean, it lost 150 health. That's nothing. Torpedo launchers are rapidly going up. Desperate torpedo launchers. However, the destroyer is just going to park out of range. However, it is still getting hit. He needs to be careful. And if this destroyer is allowed to get out, it could actually deal with this, because UF destroyers are the best close combat. Now Iridium is making a big mistake with his unit control, just sending them in lines. They're all going to get killed. And actually, I think Tempest is in a position to be attacking right now. He could probably push. The destroyer is about to get out. This is going to be bad news for Iridium. The UF destroyer can beat the Cybern destroyer in close battle. See, that's exactly what's happening here. So Iridium realizes that he needs to get the hell out. He's got a second destroyer coming in. That's going to make a difference. He will be able to get the victory unless he loses one destroyer. This destroyer is weakened. You can see how much damage it does. See great micro from these players with their navies. This destroyer will go down though, and Iridium is going to take naval control. That's a very big development. Tempest needs to push. He needs to push through land. He needs to exploit what his opponent doesn't have, because his opponent just took Navy. And now he's making cruisers, which is the step that you do after you've taken Navy. Now, the Tempest is going to be trying to combat this with Storks. However, this has a really good torpedo defense system on it, so a single Stork isn't going to do much, unfortunately. See triads going up on top for Tempest as well, so he's very secure against land units. He just needs to start being aggressive. This is what I like. Now he's starting to push. He could also push with his ACU, make a point defense creep, although that's probably risky against someone who has Navy on this map. So Iridium actually retreats for some reason. There are some destroyers here. They might actually go down if this one gets hit too much, although together destroyers are very hard to hit with torpedoes, with the torpedo defense systems. Now 230 health left on this one though, and one torpedo left takes it out, so good work from Tempest, reduces it down to just one destroyer again, so he's definitely still in this. However, the cruiser is going to make life exceedingly difficult, plus the Air Force. He's got a decent Air Force of his own and good air production. He just needs to switch to interceptors, I think. Although with the cruiser in the air, it's going to be effectively impossible to win any sort of air fight between interceptors. And Iridium is able to hold the attack, and now he's got many more units. He can probably push and turn now. You can see Tech 2 max extractors all over the place for Iridium. He's got a huge economy. Now the destroyer and cruiser are going to pretty much destroy all the naval production. Now, one asset the Tempest still does have is, for one, the economy is still pretty even as is reflected by the score, so the Tempest can make a push. I mean, these mass characters are completely undefended. He needs to start making a push with his T2PD creep, because I don't see how he's going to save his base. His Tech 2 naval production has just gone down. He's going to try to use torpedo bombers, but now Iridium has switched back to destroyers. This is going to be hard to deal with. So Iridium constantly switching the units that he's making, going from destroyers to cruisers to destroyers again. It's making it hard for the Tempest to counter him, and you can see that Iridium is starting to climb ahead in score just based on map control and mass extractor count. See, so many mass extractors. And now Iridium is going to take over the middle as soon as he starts paying attention. So we can say that this game is also over, because if these engines all go down, then the game is over. Not much that you can do. Even if this goes up, it's not going to live for more than a few seconds. And the destroyers can probably go on land and finish the job. Looks like a triad will actually go up. That's kind of funny. So that was a cute triad, but it lasted for like 2 seconds. So power goes down, the base is about to be destroyed, and I think Iridium has just demonstrated why he's the best from week 2. And he's going to face Shoot. Shoot is going to be his opponent. Unless, I mean, obviously the Tempest can still do something, but it's going to be exceedingly difficult. Here's the Air Force for Tempest. He still has air control though, but there's nothing he can do. He's being attacked by Tech 2 Navy from pretty much everywhere. He's got some Tech 2 land, maybe Riptides, but at this point it's all just hope and wild thoughts. He's trying to get an Arty. That's kind of cute. So, again, I'm just waiting for GG to be called, because we can see clearly who's going to win. There's just pink all over the map. And so, just the last remnants of a base are being destroyed, and so, by the way, we did choose the maps for the playoff, since it's going to be a best of 3. Iridium Blows versus Shoot. The first map is going to be Tag Craftiest Maximus, the second one will be Red Rocks, and the third one will be Veil of Isis. We will choose a tiebreaker map at that time if it's required to have a tiebreaker, in the event that the series is 1-1-1, which is a definite possibility. And actually, now that I'm seeing this artillery is actually being pretty effective. It already took out one Tech 2 ship and brought another one to 50 HP. Just barely missed there. Now it's gonna go down, but did actually do something, so that was kind of nice to see actually. So anyway, after that best of 3, we'll know who's the first champion, and then week 3, we're gonna see who is good. That'll be another 2-round tournament where we're gonna see who's gonna be the challenger to play that champion for the champion of week 3. Then it's gonna repeat forever. Tempest congratulates Iridium Blows. He did very well. So I think it's gonna be a good playoff between Iridium Blows and Shoot. Both have shown strong play in their qualifying tournaments. And we see Tech 3 Power and Tech 3 Land. So this is just to rub it. This is just to rub salt in the wounds, I guess. He's also going Tech 3 Air. It's basically gonna. Artillery's still alive. God, now with 2 kills. Wow, that's kind of nice. Looks like the other destroyer went down. So great work from the Tempest with that arty. I'm actually impressed. And he's still not. He's not gonna die. I mean, he's still just gonna spam up his shields, and until something changes, he's actually not gonna be killed because there's a lot of overlapping shields. So I like what he's doing here. He's kind of being a dick, but he's just gonna be making it as difficult to kill him as possible. See, it's still gonna be very hard to kill him. So I like it. See so many units going in the wrong direction. So what exactly is the plan here for Iridium? I saw him making a lot of bricks. Where have all these bricks gone? Destroyers are back in the water. He's just gonna. At this point, Iridium must be getting kind of impatient because the Tempest has survived like 5 minutes longer than he should have. So it's kind of irritating. And I've just kind of been saying the same stuff over and over. It's kind of pissing me off. Air superiority fighters, yeah, that's a great unit choice because there's no air at all. Actually, there is some air. So Tempest is writing a nice message, ZZZ, because he's tired. So am I. I'm gonna have to go to bed after I cast this. There's so much firepower here. Might as well move the frigates and then take the shields down easier. Maybe some strap bombers would be nice. Bricks moving in the direction of Tempest. Those will surely put an end to the game unless he can find a way to kill those two. And he's making a Tech 3 Mass Extractor. Such balls from the Tempest. He's already got a Tech 3 Mass Extractor, and he's making 2 more. This is ridiculous. I love this. This is great. Playing till the very end, holding on by the skin of his teeth, and yet he's still playing as if he's winning. Making Tech 3 Mass Extractors. I love this. It's just awesome. So what am I hearing now? Just heard something drop. Now the shields are finally going to go down and the Tempest is finally going to be killed. Unless he figures out something else to do, which I wouldn't be surprised if he does. I wonder if Iridium has seen the awesome message. He has now. That's not going to make him happy. And you can see everything's being focused on the Tempest ACU. Finally, we have the winner to the game after 32 minutes. Ridiculous from the Tempest. So, that concludes week 2, and we're going to have the playoff between Iridium Blows and Shoot. So hopefully people enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys later.